Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit. A week or so ago, I did a video on how to make carnivore roast beef lunch meat. The video itself isn't doing very well, but I did ask you, the people, if you'd be interested in seeing what I eat on a carnivore diet. So you, the people, ask, and you, the people, shall receive. And just a disclaimer, like I said before, I'm not a doctor, which all of you are aware of. I'm not saying you should try the carnivore diet or you shouldn't try the carnivore diet. That's for you to decide, and if you want to get your doctor involved, get them involved as well before you start it. What I'm getting ready to show you, I'm very embarrassed of, because this is when I was at rock bottom. I was over 350 pounds, had pre-diabetes, had lymphedema in my legs, couldn't wear my size 14 wedding ring, I wore between a 4X and a 5X t-shirt, I had sleep apnea, ate like a horse every day, and I felt like shit every day. Needless to say, I looked like a swollen tick, and I was honestly probably on death's door. So now I'm just going to show you some of the foods that I've eaten over the past 2 months since I've been on the carnivore diet. And then at the end of the video, I'll show you whether it works or not. I don't have a picture of every single meal I've eaten in the past 60 days, but I have enough to give you an idea of what I've been eating. When I first started the carnivore diet, I was extremely overzealous. They say to eat until you're comfortably stuffed. And that's exactly what I did. Here's my breakfast on the first day of the carnivore diet. I had 6 eggs cooked in butter. I had 6 whole slices of bacon and some real shredded cheddar cheese. This was around 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning, and I had already bought a big fatty 1-pound ribeye for dinner that night. Well, to my surprise, lunchtime rolled around and I was still stuffed. Then dinner time rolled around and I wasn't hungry. So I only ate 1 meal of my first day on the carnivore diet. But then I looked back and I was thinking to myself, how is this possible? My body's not going to be able to function on that little bit of food. But then I did something you're not really supposed to do on the carnivore diet. And I counted calories. I didn't count the calories because I cared how many I was eating. I was just trying to figure out how this is possible. But this bowl of 6 large eggs, 6 large pieces of bacon, a couple tablespoons of butter, and some shredded cheddar cheese came out to be a little over 1,000 calories. My doctor told me if I wanted to lose weight to eat under 1,200 calories a day. And that had nothing at all to do with the carnivore diet. So that bowl of bacon and eggs and cheese was nutritious enough for me to survive throughout the day, with good fats and good protein. So since my first day on the carnivore diet, I've basically only been eating 1 meal a day. Or the acronym for that is OMAD. And I'm not eating only 1 meal a day to restrict myself, I'm just not hungry after eating the 1 meal I eat. But there have been a couple exceptions where I've gotten a little bit hungry and I've had some snacks. Like pork rinds, beef jerky, liverwurst, sardines, or a couple bites of hot dog. And one more really quick point before we get into the pictures of what I've been eating. Now one more point I want to make before we get into the pictures. In 60 days, I haven't eaten rice, pasta, potatoes, fruits, or vegetables. With the exception of seasonings, the only thing I've eaten is animal products. And to make up for some of the things that I'm missing, I'm drinking a ton of water, eating a lot of salt, and potassium. And here's my go-to meal that I eat at least 5 times a week. And it's a 1 pound or more, as fatty as possible, ribeye steak. And I don't season it until after I'm done cooking it, and I usually only season with kosher salt and black pepper, but I recently found Famous Dave's beef seasoning, which does have 1 carbohydrate, but I can live with that, and it's delicious. Here's a plate of 3 large fried eggs, 2 thick slices of bologna, and a king mackerel steak topped with butter. This wasn't really a big meal to get me throughout the day, so I think this was one of the days I did have a snack or something. Here's a 1 pound New York strip steak with a ½ pound cheeseburger with cheddar cheese on top. This is one of those meals that hit my limit, but I did finish it. But you gotta keep in mind, I'm only eating once every 24 hours. And here's a meal that some of you aren't gonna like, but you need it for the vitamin, minerals, and iron. And it's rare calf's liver, a ½ pound cheeseburger with cheddar cheese, 4 large eggs, all cooked in beef tallow. Don't think about beef liver like the way you used to eat it as a kid after it simmered all day in gravy. That's gritty, flavorless liver. Try it cooked rare or medium rare and see how you like it. Now here's 3 smoked chicken legs, and they don't look like much. But including the bones, it was about 1.5 pounds of chicken legs. And by the way, I'm not eating all these meats plain. I use a lot of Crystal hot sauce, which has no carbohydrates. Sometimes I'll use some sour cream, and a lot of times I just use plain yellow mustard. And my go-to, a 1-pound steak. And I believe this was a ribeye. I decided to change up from beef and I had some pork loin back ribs on the smoker with salt and pepper, with a little bit of Crystal hot sauce on the side. I'm not really a big pork rib eater, and these are some big fatty ribs, so I only ate about 4 at a time. And then it was back to a ribeye steak again with some leftover pork ribs. And then on the odd occasion, I did have a breakfast, which was 6 scrambled eggs and butter. And then on the nights when you don't want to cook, or you're out and about, you can order a double quarter pounder with an extra patty and bacon, bring it home, and put on a slice of cheddar cheese, and then top it with the bacon, and you have a quick carnivore dinner. I don't think I have a picture of it in this video, but I do the same thing for breakfast from McDonald's. I'll order 3 fried round eggs and 3 sausage patties. And here's another 1-pound ribeye with 3 fried eggs and bacon grease. Here's 1 3/4 pound of beef short ribs that I cooked on the grill with salt and pepper. Keep in mind, what you see on these plates is only what I'm eating for the day. So it looks like a lot, but it's a day's worth of food. And on the rare occasion I needed a snack, here's a couple pieces of liverwurst with yellow mustard. And here's 3 pounds of snow crab legs that I boiled in butter, vinegar, water, and Old Bay. I guess the butter and the Old Bay made them look gross, but they were actually very good. And when the grocery store runs out of big ass ribeyes, you gotta get 2 12-ounce New York strips. And when they do run out of the big ass ribeyes that are on sale for $8.99 a pound, you make sure you get a rain check. And they gave me a rain check for 10 ribeyes for $8.99 a pound. And you'd be correct. The following week, I went up there and got 10 ribeyes, all of them weighing over 1 pound, for $8.99 a pound. Here's a couple fried eggs, a piece of calf's liver, and some pulled pork that I seasoned with taco seasoning, topped with cheddar cheese, and a little bit of sour cream for dipping. Here's another quick and easy go-to, is 2 half-pound cheeseburgers with cheddar cheese and yellow mustard. And finally, another one of my favorites that you have to eat while you're on a carnivore diet to get the minerals and iron is some fried eggs, some fried steak, and some chicken livers. I haven't even really gotten into the carnivore diet yet, and there's so many more foods I'm waiting to enjoy. One question I get asked a lot, especially by my daughter: don't you get tired of eating just meat? And my answer is no, and that even surprised me. The other question is, do you miss pasta, rice, and potatoes? And the answer is no. Another question is, do you miss vegetables? And the answer is no, which is super surprising to me because I love vegetables. Here's something that's really super confusing to me and I just can't figure it out. I did the keto diet for a long time and I craved pasta, rice, potatoes, and vegetables all the time. To the point, I just ended up failing the ketogenic diet. Will I ever eat vegetables again? I don't know. At this point, I don't have any desire. Here's the last and final question and concern, and there's no other way to say this. Poop and diarrhea. We all do it at some point or another. I heard when you start the carnivore diet, you're going to get diarrhea. Fortunately, I didn't, but everybody's different. You might get diarrhea. I didn't. I heard that I'd get constipated on the carnivore diet. During the first week and a half, I was mildly constipated. Unfortunately, during that first week and a half, my poop smelled terrible. I mean, like I ate something and it died 3 times in my stomach. And I was actually a bit concerned about it, so I did some research, and it has something to do with the sulfur in your gut that makes it stink so bad, due to your change in diet. Now, I didn't mean to change this video into a whole video about pooping, but it's a fact of life, and we all do it. Before I got on the carnivore diet, sometimes I'd poop up to 5 times a day. I mean, like life-changing Montezuma's revenge poops, and I'm not even going to get into how many times a day I would fart, or how bad they smelled. Since I've been on the carnivore diet, I poop like a clock, 1 time a day. It's very small, and it doesn't stink. And one final thing, I can't remember the last time I farted. Boy, this video is turning into crap. I'm going to leave links to 2 channels below for Dr. Ken Berry and Laura Spath for all the information you need to know about the carnivore diet. And now back to me. And I know when you first start a diet, you lose a lot of water weight. And I know I've lost a ton of water weight, but I've also lost some weight. The carnivore diet is more than just about losing weight for me. And as you do your research on the carnivore diet, you'll understand more of what I'm talking about. For those of you who didn't know, you're going to know now. I'm in a wheelchair. So getting weighed and figuring out the weight of the chair and all that jazz can be a pain in the butt sometimes. But the last time I was accurately weighed, I weighed over 350 pounds. Right now, I don't care how much I weigh, because physically and mentally, I feel phenomenal. I feel better than I have in over 20 years. And I don't need a set of scales to tell me that. I have more energy, my A1C is 5.1, the lymphedema in my legs is almost gone, I don't use my CPAP machine anymore, and I don't snore anymore. And the neuropathy in my feet is about 50% gone. And I'm only 2 months in this carnivore diet. You, the people, are going to be the first one to know how much weight I've actually lost once I get an accurate measurement. Like I said in the beginning, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not advocating this diet, and I'm not opposing the diet. I'm sharing my results with you, the people, during my journey. If you want to see more videos about my carnivore journey, hit that like button and let me know in the comments. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.